session today, it's going to be about your love story. Yeah. Now, when I say love story, we always think about this perfect man or perfect woman falling in love and saying, I love you, I love you. But aaj, instead of saying I love you to, किसी और के लिए वो जो बहुत ही खास word है, uh, we are going to be saying I love me. When was the last time आप आईने के सामने खड़े थे and you said, wow, I just love myself? Maybe I have a stuffy nose. It's really huge. For the longest time, I've told people, so many close friends around me that, I don't like my nose. When was the last time you just looked at yourself in the mirror and you said, forget the paunch, forget the hair. Yeah, the hair's graying. Forget the nose, forget the lips. But I'm so wonderful. I'm such a kind-hearted person. When was the last time you really said, I love myself? We're always taught to love others, sacrifice कि उनके लिए करो, इनके लिए करो, पर खुद के लिए कुछ करना बहुत ही मुश्किल है, right? And it's so important, so important to have a healthy relationship with yourself, because when you are happy with yourself, people around you, your parents, your friends, your family, your kids, your partner, they're automatically happy. So आज आप सभी जिन्होंने हमें join किया है, we will unlearn a lot of things. We have someone like Prionka, we have someone like Ritu Sinha, the diva, who will tell us the things that we must be doing and things that we should not be doing. First question, the बहुत ही basic वाला सवाल, Priyanka. Let's get started. What is body image? 15 साल पहले या 20 साल पहले, nobody talked about body image at all, and most of us, I think, जो भी यहाँ पर हैं session पर, we always had someone at home who would say, तू कितनी मोटी हो गई है, कितनी काली है, तेरे बाल देखे, तेरे घुटने देखे कितने काले हैं, and it was pretty okay, right? But आजकल it's like a big deal, body image. So what exactly is body image?
Okay, so hi everyone. This is a very interesting and exciting topic that we have today. And before I come to what is body image, I like what you said. When was the last time we looked at the mirror and say, wow, hi, beautiful, and I love you, kind of thing? Because in our society, if we do that, somebody will come and say, pagal hai kya? It's like you are so vain, and something like that will come up. And so somehow the whole thing about focusing on yourself or on your body is seen as negative. So this whole thing of, if I look at myself, am I liking myself, am I happy with myself, is not considered very nice in nice society. This has how we have been growing up. However, that has led to this whole issue of developing a kind of relationship with yourself, which is love-hate. So it's nothing wrong with love-hate. The problem is it's a confused love-hate. I do not know what I want to love. I do not know what I want to hate. So I take people, whatever they say, I just take it on myself. I take on the labels. I take what the media says. I take what my parents say to me, and I take it all in. It's in my head. I'm so confused. So that is why I think we need to talk about body image. In a simple term, body image is how you see your body, how you think about it, how you feel about it, and based on all of this, how you treat your body. So it is like, I just want to specify, it has not much to do with what the others are telling you. It has everything to do with how you are seeing it. So that's what we should be, talking about.
So basically just accept yourself, because acceptance in a way is loving yourself. Accept yourself, the good, the bad, ugly, everything. Just fall in love with yourself before you fall in love with someone else. Ritu, you've had a phenomenal journey. Once upon a time, you went through this whole phase where you stood in front of the mirror and you're like, yeah, what is this? But then you decided to change your story, right? Please, let's jog down the memory lane and let's talk about that phase. How was it? How did you come out of it? What exactly happened? There'll be so many people who want to know, right? Ki kaise karte hain ye?
Yes, thank you so much, first of all, Sharmishta and Pavitra, for giving me this opportunity where I'm talking about my journey of self-development. And as you rightfully said, that this has been a journey of truly self-development for me. Hamesha, all of us have always been told that हमारी society में always कहा जाता है आप रूपी भोजन and पर रूपी श्रृंगार, that we should always दूसरों की तरफ से हमें dress up होना चाहिए. You should dress up the way others want you to be. But we have to yet to evolve into the a space where all the girls say, I will dress up for myself. I will dress up the way I want to, and I will dress up because I like myself and the way what I see in the mirror. So my journey has always also been through that entire phase of life, wherein once growing up, I'm not so fair, and in our Indian society, it has always been said that fair is beautiful. हमेशा ही ये कहा जाता है कि fair people are beautiful. So always being compared by all my aunties and relatives and everyone saying कि अरे features तो बहुत अच्छे हैं लड़की के, पर थोड़ी fair होती तो अच्छा होता. So I have been here. अच्छा लड़का मिल जाता, yes, exactly. तो वो सारी चीजें सुनते हुए, and plus and my own mom kept telling me कि अरे height कम है तुम्हारी, थोड़ी लटका करो या थोड़ा they used to say कि do pull-ups and also that your height increases. So I have grown up with all those things, listening to all those things. Not that somebody was telling it to me in a bad way, but then you are growing up and you're listening to it, and it gets into your head that being short is not so good, or being dark skinned or not being so fair is not so good. It gets into your head, and I'm not beautiful. That gets into your head. And you have to look in a certain way to get a good guy, or to get married, or to have boyfriends. It gets into your head. So with and plus being in a small town. I'm from Patna. Being in a small town, we didn't have so many of avenues of looking at fashion and style and all. The only thing which we knew was you have to study, and you have to get good marks, and बहुत दूर थे, कोसों दूर थे हम ऐसे फैशन और स्टाइल और ये सारी चीजों से, जो नॉर्मली इन मेट्रोज एंड ऑल गर्ल्स डू गेट ऑल दैट आउटलुक मिलता है उनको. So slowly when we grew up and moved to college, and then moved to that entire journey of self evolution was studying, reading about beauty, reading about in the magazines or wherever I could lay my hands upon. I used to read कि अच्छा कैसे थोड़ा सा फेयर कैसे होते हैं, फेस पैक्स क्या होते हैं, कैसे होते हैं. And then slowly I started getting interested into the subject and slowly moved into the subject. And after doing my MBA, I fortunately came into this in aviation sector. So in aviation sector, a lot of emphasis is there on grooming and styling and these things. So it further enhanced my interest into the subject. And then I got myself trained into it and certified from London Image Institute. I got myself trained and certified, and it has made such an immense difference in my own self-esteem, in my own self-confidence, from the way I was earlier and to the way I am now. And it's not because you start looking into it in a certain manner. It's not about that at all. Because of the change you have, the self-confidence which you get from your inside, internal changes which happen, that changes you into a different person altogether. And from a space where I used to think that fair is beautiful or short is not so much so beautiful, to a space, and now I feel that dusky is beautiful, and how to look beautiful, and I do series. So I have my YouTube channel where I do tell people that if you're short, how to dress in a certain manner, or if you're dark, how you should be enhancing what you have, your features, what you have. So that has been my journey of self-development, and that is what Shamishta was talking, that now they ask me, or my friends reach out to me. So because of not being from a fashion industry, or not being typecasted into a fashion model, being from our HR, from a normal middle class family to this stage, is what I think has been my greatest takeaway from my entire journey. And that is what I teach others as well, that it's not about your shortcomings, but making the best of whatever you have is and a self-image or a self-confidence which you have.
Absolutely, so true. And I'm sure there were moments where you felt, यार ये क्या है, मतलब मैं ऐसे क्यों हूँ? And that's such a sad phase in your life, right? When you feel that way and you want, you're craving for that attention. You want people to accept you. You just look at fair people and you're like, wow, कितने खूबसूरत है. You just see people who are fair. यार मैं ऐसी क्यों हूँ? It's a very weird phase, very tough to explain. You want to love yourself, but you still can't love yourself. And self-esteem की धज्जियां उड़ जाती हैं. Talking about self-esteem, Priyanka, what exactly is self-esteem? There's self-worth, self-love, self-esteem. बहुत ही confusion create कर देता है, right? So what exactly is self-esteem?
So self-esteem is basically how you see yourself inside and out. So it's not just the body. It's on the whole how you value yourself and how others, you feel others value you as well. So it's a sort of a quiet confidence that I value myself and others value me as well. So that's where self-esteem is coming for what you believe in yourself. And somehow that is linked a lot to body image, as in if your self-esteem is high, regardless of how you look like, you kind of are comfortable with yourself. When you say, I'm fine, and maybe I'll just concentrate on how to look better. You are not too worried about my hair, my complexion, my height, my weight. You're not comparing too much. So I'll just give you an example. People always think body image, I have a problem with body image because I am overweight or because I'm dark. It's not. Basically, you have a body image issue if you have low self-esteem. So I have this young man who I'm counseling recently, and he is an athlete training to be a professional footballer. So he is very high on his fitness. He looks good. He has been approached by modeling agency. So people who see him will think he's got it all, right? However, he had a rough phase. His self-esteem went down, and so he started not liking his body as well. So then that's how it got connected. It has not much to do with how you look. It has more to do with how you're feeling about yourself. So I just want to share my screen as to how these two are connected. Okay, are you able to see this? Okay, so this is basically how it is when you have a poor body image. Probably you kind of say these things like, I don't like the way I look. I wish I looked like someone else. And it is linked to your self-esteem because you're generalizing and saying, if I'm fat, I'm a loser. Or if I'm dark, I can't do anything. I'm hopeless. And it comes down again to mental health, about how your mental health is. Are you the one who's able to handle positive and negatives in your life? Are you the one who always are bothered about not being able to do something? So there's always a linkage between how you're feeling about yourself, how you're handling problems, and how you're also feeling about your body. So that's where, the connection comes in, and that's why it becomes so much more important to talk about body image, because self-esteem beech mein aa raha hai, and self-esteem is almost everything that we have.
Yeah. I've got a very, I've got Davis Smith down. We were talking about dusky complexion, and she's just sent in a message saying being dusky is not the only issue, but I used to listen that, I used to choose my clothing according to other people. Because लोग कहते हैं कि यार तेरे complexion पे ये सूट नहीं है, तो dark है, तो dark maroon red अच्छा नहीं लगेगा. But I never wanted to accept it, and it affected me. How do you cope with this kind of stress? It is quite stressful, isn't it, Ritu?
So actually I wanted to say that when people say कि ये color आपके ऊपर अच्छा नहीं लगेगा, so there are certain facts about it. So it's not actually a complete a negative thing to look at it, because even for fair people or for dark complexion people, there are certain colors which enhance your overall look. So when in image consulting also, or in when we study about it, we have been told that you have a skin undertone. So if you are skin undertone is bluish, then or cold skin undertone, then there are certain colors which suit you, and if you're a warm undertone, then there are certain different colors which suit you. So the simple way to look at it is, if you keep something near your face and the color suits you, then your face starts glowing, right? So it's true for both, even for fair complexion people. Even if they put some color and it makes them washed out, or even makes them does not make them feel so good. So it's not true saying that there are colors कि fair complexion people के ऊपर सारे colors अच्छे लगते हैं, वैसा नहीं है. उनके ऊपर भी कुछ colors अच्छे नहीं लगते हैं. Similarly for dusky people as well, there are certain colors which don't look good. So we should wear colors which complement our skin tone, and it looks good on us. So it's true for me. If you see, I wear more of this orange, yellow, the skin undertone, because my skin undertone is yellow, and if I wear these colors, it brightens my face. So I wear more of these colors. So there is a certain science to it, which makes your skin, or makes you look good. Certain colors makes you look good. So there is yeah,
science to it. I wonder what I would have done if I was in your field, because I would have trust me, I'm so bad at this. Priyanka, tell me, when we talk about self-esteem, I've some of my friends or colleagues I work with, they were like, I should not be really using the word obese, but not in a negative way. But one of these girls, she was huge, but though she was so confident about herself. मैं शायद उससे 20 kg कम थी, and I would keep, I can't wear this, my legs will be seen, or my arms will be seen, or this or that. And she would wear anything and everything. She would sit जैसे भी बैठना है, like इतनी she was just brilliant, तो of course उसका self esteem अच्छा था, self esteem के साथ good confidence, but there's a very thin line, right? कभी कभी ये confidence over confidence में बदल जाता है, and ये बहुत ही proud वाला feeling आ जाता है. So what do you do then? How do you know कि भाई हाँ, ये मैं थोड़ा अपना limit में cross कर रहा हूँ या कर रही हूँ? I have to just hold back.
Okay. Yeah, there are two sides to this. One is that I have a high self-esteem, is what I'm telling to myself. Okay. But if I'm in that, what you're saying is like proudly or proud, it's like what I want to convey to someone else. No, that is where the line is, that if you at least sit and ponder over it, what is the intention behind what I'm doing? Is it to tell myself I'm comfortable with myself, or it is to tell someone else, hey, listen, I have arrived. Look at me. I'm better than you. So sometimes what happens, Pavitra, is very interesting, that we may have low self-esteem, but we are trying to compensate or overcompensate and show a little, thoda zyada, like I talk a little more, I come in and I am very gregarious, I say very loudly, or to prove my point, I cut someone off. या तो किसी और के ऊपर मैंने कमेंट भी कर दिया कि oh look, this dress is not suiting her. So it's a very thin line between someone who's really confident and proud, or someone who's just trying to hide your own insecurity. So that is one aspect of it. The other is just that high self-esteem is, I'm just bothered about telling myself I'm good. I really don't care किसने देखा, किसने नहीं देखा, किसको ये लगा कि oh, she's good or she's not good. I'm just comfortable with showing it. So I do not know where your friend might fit in. Probably she's really comfortable. She's internalized who I am is I'm a fabulous person, regardless of how I look, maybe on the weight. And that's wonderful if she's done that, because that is what I think we all should aim for.
Right. So I think what you're trying to say is, it's a lot of people try hard to fit in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And आज के ज़माने में इतना ज़रूरी बन जाता है कि that there are places where you don't want to dress up in a particular way. Like I was telling this to Sarmishta and Priyanka the other day, so I think you missed this. But जब मैं ऑस्ट्रेलिया में आई थी, and the first few times जो मुझे interview के calls मिले थे, I happened to go and meet a couple of consultants, and then one of my friends who's in the HR, she called up all three of them, बस एक हफ्ते आगे पीछे, They just asked me 3 questions. They didn't really ask me, ready for the interview? Have you, done your research? Do you know about the company? Nothing of that sort. The questions were, do you have a nice black dress? Make sure that you get your nails done, get your hair straightened, and wear a nice pair of stilettos, like, pick black ones. And this consultant, in a very formal way, I mean, of course, she didn't tell it to me like this, but in a very, very subtle तरीके से उसने बताया. Now, I'm not someone who has long nails. I don't like long nails. And I was like, oh my God, okay. Paint my nails. I don't paint my nails. It's just once a year, 1.5 years. Kabhi, once in a while. And I cannot walk with stilettos. Like, kuch bhi ho jaye, main nange paon chalungi, but what do? So the first few interviews that I went with my chappals. And before I entered the building, just 10 minutes pehle, चप्पल निकाले, प्लास्टिक कवर में डाला, बैग में रखा, स्टिलेटोस निकाले, डाले, and then I think if I was the manager interviewing the person, I would have known that this woman cannot walk with the heels. But the stress that you carry कि यार मुझे job चाहिए, इन तीनों लोगों ने जो एक दूसरे को नहीं जानते, they happen to say the same thing, that get your nails done and hair and stilettos. How do you fit in? I mean, the kind of stress we have, Ritu, it's difficult to cope with it, right? How do you deal with that?
See, what I would say over here कि जहाँ पर आप जा रहे हो या जिस भी occasion पे आप जा रहे हो, वहाँ थोड़ा वैसा dress होना जरूरी होता है, but not to the extent that you feel uncomfortable. Maybe if you are not comfortable walking in stilettos, maybe you can wear a little bit lesser heels if you're comfortable in that. But going in a formal setup and being dressed formally is very important, because if you're going in an interview, that, as they rightly said, maybe you are not wearing a short dress, maybe you don't want to wear stilettos, but being formally dressed and being well groomed is the most important thing, because wherever you're going, you have to look the part you're going. So that I would say, even being in HR myself, I would say that if a few candidates come to meet us, and if there is a little bit of difference between two candidates, then the person who has is dressed well will look like a better overall package for the organization. So definitely if I have to choose the person, I will choose the person who is a better overall package. But yes, definitely I would not say that be uncomfortable, but if you're well dressed and you feel that you are, wherever you're going, you are dressed for your part, you will feel the confidence. अगर आप वहाँ पे जाओगे and you see that others are very well dressed, whereas you have gone in your chappals, then probably आपके दिमाग में कहीं ना कहीं ये चीज रहेगी कि I am not well dressed, and you yourself will feel underconfident while speaking or while talking. Maybe you will be knowledgeable overall otherwise, but you will not feel confident. So it's not about looking like a diva, looking like a actress, but it's like having that confidence in yourself that yes, I know my job and I'm there, I'm playing my part. So it's for your overall confidence, and we were talking about self-esteem, so that also gives you the confidence and the self-esteem for that.
So fake it till you make it, isn't it, Priyanka? It's all about
it's not exactly faking, but yes, playing the part, I would say. Yes, wherever you go. So even in your everyday life, if you're going to a shadi, you may not be a very sari type of a person, but if you go in a marriage, you do dress up for that 1 hour, that so that everyone is dressed up and decked up, and I have to look decked up, right? You just don't go in your everyday dress. So just consider as that it's one of the occasions where you have to play the part and you have to be there. Yeah.
Right.
Ritu, I think I would in self-esteem part, I would like to say fake it till you make it, because that's quite an interesting concept that I have really taken to, and I would like to do a little experiment with all the people we have today, and just go with it. It may seem a little silly, but let's try it out. So you take your hand like this, how we do a smile kind of a gesture, and put it across like this, and you smile and count till 8. Okay, in your mind you count just like this and smile and count till 8. Okay, let go. Now, if I see, then I'll be able to see that most of you are actually smiling now, even if you were not smiling before. So what happens is now this lovely lady called Dr. Isha Gupta discovered that if you fake smile, okay, so your muscles of your face gives this indication to the brain that you're happy, and it releases all the neurotransmitters that you need to have all those positive emotions. So probably you're faking it initially, and later on you're really not faking it. I have tried this with like multiple people, teams across, different countries, and after a while they're like, first they are grumpy, and after a while they're actually smiling, they're feeling good. So it's also in self-esteem. You have a low self-esteem, that's fine. Most of us will go through ups and downs. You may have even more, you may be going through a lot, and that's why you have a low self-esteem. But if you start faking it at points, you might, just say that I will show, like probably Pavitra, your friend. We do not know. There are people who are faking it. And while faking it, you kind of start believing in it. It's also self-fulfilling prophecy, that you kind of play the part, you dress the part, like as Ritu is saying, you dress the part, you play the part in your mind, you imagine I'm this very confident person stepping in, you start believing in it yourself, you start being that person slowly. So this is one great way of changing, your self-esteem and your body image. And probably this is the difference between those who are able to do it and those who struggle to do it. It's like if you can practice a bit of faking it, it might work for most of us.
Maybe, and that is how maybe the positive affirmations work, right? Maybe if
Absolutely.
we keep on saying that, saying positive things about myself or my body image, then probably it uplifts my image internally as well, right?
Yes, it's like a great tip to increasing your body image or self-esteem. Now, a lot of the time we interchange body image and self-esteem, but it's one great tip in doing that.
But all said and done, Priyanka, fake it till you make it. For someone who's an introvert, it is tough. It's very, very challenging, isn't it? I mean, to just go and show up in front of 10 people and look extremely confident, and even if you have to fake it, it comes across that you can't. I mean, you're not fit for this.
Yeah, absolutely. And so one would assume that if you are not a very social person, you walking in and talking to 10 people would be difficult. But you smiling by yourself is not difficult. So you have to choose what is according to you comfortable. You are not trying to be somebody absolutely different, because there again, I mean, if you are trying to be somebody else, it's as good as having a negative body image or a positive body image. We want you to be comfortable. And so you choose what is comfortable and do only that much. I mean, the whole aspect of what I believe in, a little change is fine. It goes a long way. It doesn't have to be a huge change. A little change is fine.
So we have a question here, Priyanka. Some of us, we're trapped in our heads about our body image. How does one know if it's our judgment or that of others? And how do we create a personality? We're always thinking कि वो हमारे बारे में क्या सोचते हैं. It's so confusing.
So usually, what we think about ourselves, it has a lot to do with what others think of us, because we've been socialized that way. Bachpan se we have had our parents telling things like, moti ho jayegi, don't wear this, you're looking plump in this, or this color is not suiting you. Maybe it's a very innocent comment, but we take in. Media, we have seen all images that we see, they do not look like us at all. And the funny part is that 95% of the population will not fit into the media standard. So we are growing up thinking we're not able to. So it is quite possible that what you're thinking of yourself is because of the society around you. But that is where self-awareness is coming in. And how do you build this self-awareness is by a self-talk. That's one. There's one thing that I really like is journaling. If you're writing your thoughts, and people have asked me what exactly is journaling. So some people say I only write what are things to do today, or my grocery list and all. So apart from that, when you write about your feelings and emotions, and you also relate it to an incident, I met this person and I felt bad about myself. And you realize by writing it again and again, if you look back, every time you meet this person, you feel bad about yourself. So what is it? Is this person saying something or making you feel that you are not good enough? And if that is happening, and it is not happening when you meet anyone else, then you do the math that maybe that's nothing is really wrong with me. It is this person who's making me feel bad. Then it's not me who has any problem with my body, but it is this person's interaction with me is not positive. So this is how you kind of start thinking about, whether it's society. And how do you challenge what you know and whether it's correct or not? That's the second part. Whatever you think about yourself, and if you're talking about someone who has a negative body image, who will think probably I'm not good enough or I'm ugly or whatever it is, write that down. Have 2 columns. Put all the thoughts that can say that yes, I am bad and I'm ugly and whatever. Write every incident that you know. On the other hand, challenge it. Write every incident you know which will say, oh no, but that day you felt good, that day everybody complimented you, whatever it is. You challenge your thought. And that's like one of those evidence-based figuring out what is there in your mind. Is it really you or not? And I think at one point it really doesn't matter whether it's really you or not. If you are able to, internalize it and you are confident with it or you're comfortable with it, it's fine. It's a positive body image is something which says I am worth more than what I look like or what my body is. Body is just one part of my whole self. It's like just maybe the body of the car, however embellished or paint hai, nahi hai, jo bhi hai, it's just the car. And I need the engine and the tires and the seat to make it work together. Only the body will not be of any use to anybody. So just to distance yourself from that body part and say that I am everything together. I'm social, I'm friendly, I'm genuine, I'm everything. So that's me. So that's another way of figuring out your positive, qualities, your skills, your traits, how people see you, how you react to people all together. That's me.
A very spiritual perspective, isn't it?
It is a spiritual perspective. And if you get it quicker, you will be happier.
Yeah, make a deep connection with yourself. We often compare ourselves with someone, right? Ritu? Like we see someone like, wow, kash main bhi aise hoti. And then you come back after a couple of hours, you feel terrible. Though he or she is your good friend, somewhere maybe it's just that jealousy or insecurity. How do we stop comparing ourselves to others and just be happy with ourselves? I mean, it's such a simple ek line ka question, but I'm sure it's pretty complex, isn't it?
Yes, it is definitely, because jealousy is a part of, a part of personality of each one of us. So it's at different times for different things that we feel jealous with other people. So as long as I always feel that if something is desirable quality in somebody else and I want to achieve it, and that jealousy or that or that comparison is in a positive manner, then it's good. If somebody speaks well and I want to speak as good as that person, and I'm improving on my communication skill to reach to that level, that is good, that is positive. If somebody is thin and I want to reach to their health or fitness level, and I start working out with that person, or I'm comparing with myself with that person, that mujhe uske jitna fit hona hai, then that's a good comparison, and it's always a healthy comparison. It's good to have a healthy competition. It's good to have. But if something is so much, it starts bothering my mind and it starts getting me into negativity, then that becomes a problem with a person. So we should stop getting into negativity about it. And if a person is a friend, I can always discuss with that person that you're so good at it, how can I become as good as you, and we can work it together, or I want to reach your fitness level, let's start working out together. That's good, instead of feeling jealous or getting into negativity. Then that draws ourselves into negativity, and then our mind goes into that negative space. So that is not good, I feel. Otherwise, if it's a healthy competition and positive, if we take it in a positive manner, it's good actually in some sense. Yeah.
Right, perfect. We have another question from a mommy who says that once you have a baby, I think most of us who've had babies, we've all gone through this phase in our lives where you neglect your physical appearance. You no longer care how you look. And बहुत jaldi, of course, there's no self-care. You're just all the time taking care of your child. And because of all this, your self-esteem drops, your self-worth, you question yourself, are you really good enough? And I think women in general, we are constantly on a guilt trip. Career-wise, when you're doing really well, career may, it's time to have a baby. When you have a baby, you're trying to, balance it out. So it's always tough for a woman, and usme you have to look perfect all the time, and you're not really perfect, but you have to, you know, look presentable and be nice. So how do we help this mommy, Priyanka? How does one get this back after having a baby? Self-worth, self-care, self-image, everything drops. How does one get this back?
I think the important thing to start with is that you are a mommy. I mean, what a great achievement. You've done something brilliant and you've created a new life, and it's achievement in itself. Just because it's so common doesn't make the achievement less.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing, to appreciate yourself for what you have already done. We have this habit of always looking at the negative first, that because I'm a mommy now, I don't have time, and my body is becoming like this. But on the other hand, if you start looking at the positive, it's like, what a great achievement, you're taking care of the child. However, once that initial issues are gone and you have found your feet and baby's a bit comfortable, I think you got to ask yourself, what do you want out of yourself? Because some people are absolutely happy with their weight and how they are feeling. So we are not really talking about those who are comfortable. We are talking about those who want to achieve a little more, or who are not comfortable with being whatever weight that they are being. And then for that, those people, you have to just see priority. That becomes high in priority. How I look is a priority for me, but I'm not able to do that. That's where self-care is coming in. Self-care whenever people say self-care, you say, I'm going to eat well, sleep well, put on face pack, go to the spa. Okay, fine, do that. But it's also about saying no to some commitments because you have prioritized something else. So if looking a certain way, or being healthier, or being fitter, or having high energy. I mean, why do we exercise? It's not just to look a certain way. It's to have high energy, to have positive emotions. Because when you do that, you feel good about yourself. And most women have come and told me, like especially all my clients have come and told me, the very simple thing like achieving a weight target or simple an exercise target makes them feel accomplished. कि अगर मैंने आज सोचा था I'll go to the gym, even if for 10 minutes I went, or I just did some stretch, I feel I can achieve anything. मैंने ये कर लिया. So it's a kind of achievement and spills over to everything else in your life. That I could do this, I kept a promise to myself, I can do anything else. So if you look at it that way, look at it an accomplishment which will spill over. Your energy will spill over. Your feel good will spill over to everybody else. And that's how you make it a priority. And to make it a priority, you have to say no to something else, because you only have that much of time, right? So you cannot do everything. So you decide, this is a priority, this is how I'm looking at it. So I'm going to say no to one phone call. I'm going to say no to 3 people who always check on me to say how you are doing and give an update on the baby. You have to prioritize there, and that's how you do it.
Right. So it's basically important to have a positive relationship with yourself.
Yeah.
And talking about fitness regime, of course, itni positivity.
Plus, it's very important. Yeah, it's. I wanted to add over here that it's very, very important to feel that these 10 minutes or 15 minutes of time which I'm taking out for myself is very important for me. More important than what others would be asking from me. Maybe a kid would be asking for something, or your husband would be asking for something. But feeling, if I feel that my time is not important, then I will give it to somebody else. But if I feel that it's very important for me, those 10 minutes, 15 minutes of a walk or an exercise is very important for me, and not to feel guilty about giving that time to myself. Because I think women in our country have always been brought up or conditioned to give priority to others' needs rather than their own needs. Always, as a kid also, what father is saying, what brother is saying, or later on what husband is saying, what in-laws are saying. So it's always कि अगर मैं अपने आप को time दे रही हूँ तो शायद कुछ गलत कर रही हूँ. ऐसी feeling, guilt feeling सब ladies को होती है. So I think getting over that a little bit is very, very important. Yeah.
Right.
So actually, I have this very interesting slide with the guilt that Ritu just said. Let me just show you all. So this is usually the cycle that happens, that you gain the weight, you feel bad about gaining weight, and then you use food as comfort. You gain more weight, feel even worse, and that's how the cycle goes. But if you have to change the cycle, then the guilt and feeling bad, wherever it's coming from, you have to challenge that. And by just reducing that one bit, the challenging your guilt part, the cycle is broken and it changes the whole thing. So, I mean, what Ritu said is correct. There's a lot of guilt involved, and that guilt is changing our whole relationship with our body as well as our relationship with ourselves.
Right. Well, you know what? We have Amor from Yahavi, and she's here to share something. So, Amor, you know what? I would like you to come and tell us whatever you wanted to share in exactly 5 minutes. We're going to ask a question, and then we go to Amor. She has something very interesting to share, something very, unique and different, that they're kind of doing this awareness program for youngsters, and what exactly they are into वो हमें थोड़ी देर में अमोर बताएंगी. पर उसके पहले एक सवाल, प्रियंका, talking about having a positive relationship with yourself. Fitness regime is very, very important, but to stick to that fitness regime is not, it's not easy. बड़ा प्लान बनता है कि भाई मैं 100 डे चैलेंज करूंगा, पहला दिन अच्छा, दूसरा दिन अच्छा, तीसरा दिन ठुस, एंड उसके बाद 4th 5th डे गया, फिर से वीकेंड, चलो मंडे से फिर से शुरू करते हैं. It's very, very tough to stick to a fitness regime. What do we do?
Okay, I'm assuming that everybody who's asked that question would have tried a lot of things already. Would have tried a lot of techniques, would have tried a lot of strategies, and would have talked to a lot of gym instructors and motivators, and wo fail ho gaya. So there are two reasons probably. One is probably you are not looking at your own unique strength and weakness. Jisne jo bola, you are trying to do that, and it doesn't really, basically align to your own self. So self-awareness is necessary. Ki I cannot stay without food. Or I cannot, go to the gym without eating. So even if someone else is saying you do, but coming from a therapist point of view, there is something that I really enjoy, and that is the solution-focused therapy, which takes this stance that you look at the final goal, and you completely visualize how your final goal will look like to you in great detail. So if you are hoping to go to the gym and achieve some kind of a fitness level, आप विजुअलाइज करो कि एंड में अगर आपने अचीव कर लिया इन ग्रेट डिटेल, हाउ वुड यू फील, हाउ वुड यू लुक लाइक, व्हाट वुड यू वेयर, हाउ वुड यू गो आउट एंड टॉक टू whom, who will you first call and say, listen, I've achieved what I wanted to achieve? What will that person say back to you? So if you start visualizing that final goal in great detail, your motivation starts rising up. And once that has happened, then you make your plan, and as I said before, start very small. Our biggest issue is we make huge goals and we stumble. So one way of addressing it is that you visualize the final end in great detail. And when I say great detail, go to as much of detail you want. मैंने ये color का shirt पहना. Like I was telling you, this person who I was talking to, who's athlete and still had body image issues. He's telling me, I've stopped wearing my favorite clothes because I'm feeling so low. I'm feeling depressed, or I'm not doing well because of certain things. I've generalized that I'm not good enough. I do not wear my favorite clothes. And he had this white shirt, which he idolizes as, when I feel good, when I look good, I wear that. And he was not wearing. So if you want to visualize, you visualize yourself wearing that favorite shirt that you wear when you would have achieved your goal. How would you walk? How would you come out? And then turn back and plan your things and start small. What is the easiest thing that you can do to reach there? So that is one great motivator to probably try. It may not work with every person, but this usually works, visualizing the end goal.
Plus I would.
You try this ever?
Oh yes, I have. I just wanted to add over here, so much wanted to add. As a person, I have struggled with weight issues so much because I have I wanted to keep on losing weight, then again gained it back, then again I mean wanting to lose it. So from all kinds of diet I have tried. Plus, one thing which I have realized, that I get bored very easily. So I keep changing activities every 2 3 6 months. Like, if for a person who wants to meet the fitness goal, maybe you start with going to a gym, and maybe after 2 3 months you get bored of after going to the gym. Then you start something else. You start yoga. You start, if you like dancing, please start dancing. If you like going for a walk, please start going for a walk. So for me, it has worked quite a lot that I keep changing the activities. So if I get bored of going to the gym after 6 months, I leave gym and I start walking. Now, after a certain months, if I get bored with walking, I'll pick up some dance. So I've recently started Kathak as a workout, and also as a, to learn something as well. So it's working well for me. That has kept me motivated to keep my fitness goal intact as well. Plus, a different interests also, keeps me occupied also. So that has helped me quite a lot, changing my interest. And something else also can work is keeping one of your friends involved with you. So if you get bored, the other person motivates you. So it's one or two people, you make a community. So if you're going for a walk, please have other ladies who are walking with you, or other friends who are walking with you, so that you have a community. And even if on days you don't feel like going, they call you ki aja, and you go. So it's like that. So one of these things have worked for me. And because I keep on doing something or the other just to keep my fitness goal, because I get bored very easily. Yeah.
One more option, Ritu. You must try running with Milan Soman. You will never stop running in your life. Most amazing thing. I got into running after I met Milan Soman, and we ran for some 45 minutes or so. I was like, oh wow, running, so passionate about it once upon a time.
So
Now I've stopped.
you need to have good role models.
Time
Yes.
to meet Milan.
Yeah, I see a question here on cognitive behavioral approach. So I just wanted to address that a bit. Manohari, right? Yeah. So this is where we are coming into, I think, negative body image. And if there is someone who has really extreme negative body image and is avoiding all kind of social engagement and is constantly having anxiety and worry and depression and needs constant validation, or maybe avoiding many areas of, and it's affecting many areas of their life, and then we probably would take this person into a CBT approach, a cognitive behavioral therapy approach, where we go back to the source of this negative body image. What is the core belief or the negative core belief that we are looking at, which has given rise to this kind of a body image issue that has come up? And then probably we challenge this negative intermediate or negative core belief to see what we can do about it. But this is for those who have really got very high anxiety and depression associated with a negative body image, and is really affecting their life, maybe their profession, their relationship. They have a very bad kind of relation with the mirror. So either they're constantly checking or they're avoiding altogether. Even while changing or the changing room, they stand with the face away because they can't bear to look at themselves, and they have distorted image of themselves or distorted thinking about themselves. That's where the CBT comes in. Otherwise, I think for someone who have a little bit of a negative body image, of course, it's a normal, chat and all the other tips that we are saying could be helpful. I hope that answered your question, Manohari.
This can be sorted if they have the CBT session. This
yeah,
can
a CBT session would be, someone can be helped through that as well.
Just adding to, I think, Priyanka, that, what Priyanka mentioned, journaling is a great form of cognitive behavior therapy as well, because and the second thing is meditation. When you meditate, you observe your negative thoughts going, what are the judgments that you're looking into. These are also very interesting ways, which probably already mentioned, which are people can practice in a milder and severe forms as well.
Right. Let's now go across to Yahweh Amor.
Yeah. we are running out of time. We also have the contest and the cups to give away. So yeah.
Very quickly, if you could just tell us this. You've been promoting this awareness program for youngsters, right? So what exactly are you guys doing?
So hi, I'm Yavi. I'm Yusria, and we're the initiators of Amor. And basically, Amor aims to promote body positivity and strongly against body shaming. And we're trying to implement our message in different ways. So please do follow our Instagram page. It's called Amor_. It's all about you. We aim at helping women rebuild their confidence in their own skin because we think that's really important.
Perfect. So much. You're doing a phenomenal job, and itni young age mein, you're doing a great job. Are you girls really confident of who you are when you look at yourself in the mirror? Do you say, "Wow, I'm so beautiful"? Do you feel confident every single day?
Yes.
A quick message to all the youngsters who've joined us today. What would you like to tell them?
We like to tell you that you should be confident in your own skin, and it doesn't matter what others say about you. As far as you love yourself, that's more than enough.
So important. So important. Have a healthy relationship with yourself. Thank you so much, girls. Lovely having you here.
Are they on Insta? Can we have their handles so that we can all, probably have a look at that? And
yeah, I'll type it in the chat box.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. I think that also brings us to the point which I will again highlight to both Pavitra and Priyanka, who have daughters in their teenage, as parents, that the first time when the body image issues actually come symptomatically starts showing up when you are not happy about yourself, either in whatever way Priyanka just told, either you avoid people, or you don't look at yourself great in your mirror, or you overall don't take self-care. Not taking self-care and also taking too much of trying to be an overachiever, both are kind of indicators of body image issues. So, and the beginning of all of it might be the when our hormones change, when we get into the teenage phase, right? How do you, for some of the parents as well, some of the people who are in students and also early 20s or 18s, so what will you suggest to them? Because they are surrounded with social media benchmarks, all that we discuss, but what exactly are one or two things that you can think of, that probably one as a parent and one as a teenagers, that we can look into?
I think the first thing that everybody can do, whether you are a student, a teen, a parent, or anyone else, is let's change the conversation that we have around a person's appearance. This is not how, I was just mentioning to Pavitra the other day, this is not how it was historically in India. We used to say things like Sarvagun Sampannan, Mehman Nawazi. So people used to be appreciated for their skills and for the qualities that they had. But now recently we talk a lot more about appearance. Whenever we meet friends or we even see our own daughters or sons, we say, "Oh, you're looking good," or "You lost weight." And I have done that as well with my daughters, without wanting to. And even if I'm in this line, I have, said things like, "Oh, your face is looking rounder. You have put on weight." And my daughter who went to London to study, and I just said, "Oh, you've been eating too well there." And that's where I realized, I stopped myself. So the first thing is to be aware of your language. And instead of talking about appearance so much, if we could all, whether you're a teen or a parent, talk more about the traits and the qualities, your abilities, your effort. So if that becomes a conversation rather than, "अरे यार तू बहुत अच्छी लग रही है दिखने में," instead of saying that, if we say, your smile is so bright today, or you helped me so much, or today you talked so well, or whatever little thing that we want to talk more about the effort or traits, that's one thing. Second is, if we adopt body neutrality, it's not about you are overweight or you are skinny. Now, skinny shaming is also a huge thing. And especially all the guys would agree that they have self-esteem and negative body image, not because they're overweight probably, but more so because they are underweight, and society wants men to look buff. they want women to look slim. So it's like a very strange situation you're in. So if we could just change that conversation. Also, I think especially for girls, sports exercise. That's a great way of changing stuff, because you are not then comparing your weight and how slim you are. You're comparing how fast you are, how strong you got, how quick you got. And so there is a group of girls supporting each other, talking about strength, power, fitness, and how quick you were in the game. And that's the changing in conversation that we could slowly have. Also, something about parents. Parents always keep talking, this dress is not fitting me, I need to lose weight, or things like that. If that conversation is around kids, it starts affecting them from age of 3. So please be very mindful and start changing the conversation, talking less about appearance, about somebody else's appearance also. It's not just about the person's appearance here. It's just talking. There's another thing, Sarmishta, I wanted to say, a tip for increasing your body positivity or healthy body image is not just about criticizing yourself, it's also about criticizing others, because it becomes a habit. If you are criticizing someone else, you would end up criticizing yourself as well, because it's a habit. And I had this lovely woman who used to come to me, and when I told her, you don't practice negative talk or criticizing, to remind herself, she would tap on her hand. Every time she would catch herself having a negative thought about somebody else or herself, she would just tap herself to remind, no. So that becomes a habit then, that you stop criticizing others, invariably you'll stop criticizing yourself.
True.
But children learn these things from their society surrounding, parents, and everyone around them. So if they listen to their parents criticizing or body shaming others, their colleagues, or calling somebody who has bald and takla, or somebody mota, then they learn those things, and then they feel that somebody will say these things about me, and that is where that negativity comes in. So yes, it's very, very important to understand what we're saying in front of our children, because as we know that it starts affecting them from a very, very early age. Yeah.
Right. So even if it's not happening at home with the parents, how about when they go and meet their friends, relatives, or say when when you have a family catch up, like everybody gets together and they talk about those comments are really nasty. कि इतनी काली क्यों हो गई, क्या किया है, बाल ऐसे क्यों किए हैं. तो वो बच्चा शायद जितना भी पॉजिटिव हो, मे बी mom and dad, they're injecting self-esteem and everything, but as soon as you meet this bunch of this bunch, that negativity just gets in, right? So, and that's just not in your control. So what do you do with that then, Priyanka?
I would say get your power back. And this is something I completely endorse, and I tell everybody. If you want your self-esteem high and your body image high, do not allow others to decide how you should look like. Do not allow others' view of who you should be. You need to decide that. So if you are in a situation where someone else is telling you something that you don't like, and unfortunately, it happens in our own homes, and maybe parents are telling you, you don't have to be rude about it, but you can voice out your opinion. Usually, people don't. So if you just tell them that, ये आपने जो मुझे बोला वो अच्छा नहीं लगा, oh, I feel very sad when you say this, or I feel bad about myself when you say this. It helps. First, you are taking the power back. You feel powerful, you feel empowered that I stood up for myself, and that's the first step of getting your self-esteem back. Plus, you also helping the other person, because शायद उन्होंने सोचा ही नहीं कि what they are saying is affecting you. There's ignorance about it. And if we are growing up in a culture where this was fine, if you've grown up where दादाजी और चाचा जी ऐसे बोलते थे कुछ, and it's fine, अरे वो मोटू ये ले आ, kind of बोलते थे, and it was fine. Probably this has become a habit for them without their realizing. So by speaking up for yourself, nicely, kindly, without aggressively, you're also helping them, and you're getting your power back. And I think that's the biggest respect that you can give yourself, by voicing out. अगर बोला नहीं जा रहा है तो लिख के दे दो, text कर दो that this thing I did not like, and could you please not say this about me, I feel bad. That would be a biggest thing that you can do to help yourself.
Right.
And you were so rightly, you have said that it does not remain with the family. People carry it in their lives further, and in corporate worlds as well. We do receive, as in HR, we do receive a lot of complaints. And when we reach to the bottom of that, when we counsel those people, sometimes we realize that the other person had not even realized that he has offended the other person, because that's in his habit. He said something and the other person felt bad. So that is how we carry it further in our lives, and we may sometimes without realizing make others miserable about what we are saying. So we also have to realize somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect. I think it's time to wrap up. Thank you so much, Priyanka and Ritu. Guys who've joined us, thank you so much for joining us. If you have any more questions, you can have a 15-minute session with these two experts here, not with me, of course. So you can just leave your questions and we will try our best and give you perfect answers, or maybe get in touch with these ladies and you can speak to them. Also, we're sending across some goodies to these guys, isn't it, Sarmishta?
Yes,
Those,
so I think, yeah, so very quickly, I think, thank you so much, Priyanka and Ritu. Lovely discussion, and thank you, audience, for so many questions that we were getting, which probably helped us to kind of bring the subject more lively and relevant to all of you. Hope we are able to answer most of them, but even if we have missed, what we do is we probably catch back and probably share some of the inputs later as well. You can write to contact@mindfully.in. I will just write the email ID on the chat box. So you can write to us for booking any of our sessions, and not just with these experts, but also with anyone on our platform www.mindfully.in, because sometimes when we are low, like someone was just telling, like, what do I do when you have a lot of fear in your mind. So I think sometimes we do need to talk to someone one on one, maybe once or maybe twice, to kind of bring down whether my body image. A lot of question that Pavitra was asking, that it is so hard, it is so difficult. Yes, it is not easy. It is easier said. It is easier to build this little bit of awareness, but it is not very easy to actually make that change if I don't have a very positive body image. To do that shift, you might sometimes need help. So reach out. So the question for the contest is, very quickly, tell us in the chat box. Whoever does it, the first 3 people will get the prizes. Very quickly, just tell us that, what is one thing that you will take away from this session today, one thing that you will do differently from tomorrow based on the discussion that we had today. So first 3, quickly, you can write it.
are we supposed to type as well, Sarmishta? So that we'll get 12 coffee mugs.
Yeah, I think I like the mugs. If it can travel to Singapore, it would be great. No, but lovely questions. I'm so glad that these questions were asked, because unless someone asks you, you do not know which are the concerns to address. So thank you, everyone.
Okay, I'm getting some answers. Okay. So, where can we get the recording, ma'am, to revisit? Yes, I will be sharing the recording. This time, hopefully, we have done it better. Nazneen Diaz wrote, increase self-esteem. So, Nazneen, from tomorrow, you will increase self-esteem. That was like just to win the cup. I will send you the cup across. Self-esteem will be high from all sides. Okay, that's Saraswati. Where confidence from tomorrow, Bosky. But there's all these initial ones are people for the mug, okay? Like from tomorrow, nothing changes in this world. Trust me. Reminds with a gentle tap whenever I think she deserve it. Mary, you deserve it, because you actually told something which is very easy and doable, which is to tap yourself gently whenever I think negative about myself. Yes. Immediately order a new diary from Amazon and start journaling. Asha, you don't have to. I will tell you something which Mindfully Sorted actually has a journaling book also. I am not promoting it here, but I will write to you separately. You can definitely, I can send you across as a gift. So Asha, Mary gets it, and Nazneen gets it for answering it the fastest. Okay. So Nazneen, Asha, and Mary, gets it. So all of you, can you just switch on your camera so that we all can see each other and say a little bit of hi and a happy Diwali. And if you have any questions, you can unmute and you can.
Hi.
Some last comment also.
Hello.
To the hi. Yeah, so it was Asha, Mary, and Nazneen, who are the 3 people who win the cup. Okay. Okay. So can you guys show your, any of you else who has your camera on? Hi, Pavitra Mishra. Anyone else who would like to switch on their cameras?
Excuse me, that is Pravita Mishra.
Pravita, yes, Pravita Mishra. Too much of Pavitra happening. Right. So thank you so much. This is the second episode of Live, Love, Grow with RJ Pavitra. And thank you, Pavitra.
Thank you.
And
we have in our own ways, we have to just learn to love ourselves, isn't it?
Definitely. Don't we love anyone else?
True, very true.
So thank you so much. Just fill in a little bit of our, whatever we will send in terms of feedback form very quickly. It helps us to know that what we can do better. These are all learnings for us. And also, before we wind up, thank you so much everyone for joining. Thank you Ritu, thank you Priyanka, and a very, very happy Diwali to all of you. From Mindfully Sorted, stay tuned to Mindfully Sorted. A lot of interesting programs that comes in. Also follow our Instagram and Facebook handles. We will keep mailing and messaging them. So